everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Hand of Fate. Let's get into it.
Into the depths we go, searching for the dead and dying.
He says it so much better than me. So, we've gotten halfway through it, and we've gotten 2 of his prizes, and now we're going to take on the... Oh look, the prizes are on the left. So the goblet and the staff are right there on the left. We're going to be taking on the Queen of Skulls. We will have the curse of whenever the player purchases a new item, they gain a curse. All traders have been persuaded to offer cheaper items. Oh my god. Oh wow, so there's a combination of 2 cards. Somebody obviously thought that through. There's gonna offer us so many good deals, and then we're gonna have to turn them all down, or we're gonna have to run a terrible run and probably lose just to purchase a bunch of things.
So much death and sorrow in the world. Can you hear the winds keening in loss? Can you hear the dirges as the trees and the earth cry out in sorrow? This is the Queen of Skulls, and that is all she can hear. It has driven her to madness. Her touch is the promise of death, and I say to you, you were warned. Farewell.
I so wish there was more of this. So we already have a sufficient setup, but let's see what we are leaving on the table this time. We've got 3 axes all out of the picture, 2 maces, 3 swords, 2 shields. We're getting rid of the armor of cold and the medium armor and a couple of the helmets. All to make room, I assume, for new things. Like Undead Bane here probably would work really well against the Queen of Skulls, if I was to guess. The Angel's Wing, I think it almost makes sense that I'd rather have one of these helmets, but honestly, no, I guess I don't. I'd much prefer a faster movement speed than finding the exit or reflection, because I'm still very much going through everything and hitting everything. What does Fool's Gold do? On every weapon ability uses, all bandits are stunned for 3 seconds. Every bandit killed gold, that's 2 gold. That seems like very specific to bandits. The Great Helm of Reinforcement is new. So I assume that the number of uses you can use something like this is the number you see below. So 9 with the 9 little leaves. And that kind of means like this can only be used 3 times, but you know, if you had a lot of people on the field and you immediately used it, every successful strike drops gold. That could be a lot of gold real quick. There is an achievement for getting 200 gold. Turns out the achievement I thought for going into a battle with 25 health is actually 5, or ending a battle with 5 health is also a separate achievement. There's also some story things that have to do with the apprentice mode according to the achievements, and I just don't know how you would get that. It seems by default to put me in default mode. So right now I start with an axe, a shield, medium armor, and the Ring of Hindsight with our new staff and goblet. All encounter cards are revealed upon reaching the next stairs. Interesting. So if you just ran to the stairs now, you can see what you missed. We get 6 health from eating, we lose 9 from starving, we have 100 health, 100 max health, food 20 plus 5, and then the goblet does that, the scepter does that, it changes all those things. So, because we finally got rid of the Rat Man encounters, I assume, yes, here they are, the Rat Man hunting are finally in the list of things we don't have to do anymore. So these 3 DLC things, we're still trying to squeeze them in to our here, but we've just got a larger and larger list of cards that we need to play. Almost every single encounter here is a new encounter, except for this one and that one and that one. See, it kind of makes sense, I think, to probably... Let's see if we can get rid of some of these things. Because otherwise we're just gonna stay here forever. So... what can we get rid of? I could probably get rid of Mr. Lionel. Get rid of the Twisted Canyon. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. That one. That one. And let's see. This one. Definitely don't want the Devil's Carnival. Dead King's Hall. And Local Peasant, I don't need her either. And then that should allow me to put in the DLC ones. And then let's squeeze in all these other ones. And that leaves me with 1 extra. So Wife's Fury and a Local Peasant look almost exactly the same except for the background. That's kind of lazy in the animation department. They're not even coloring these cards, so they could have done a little bit better than that. We have a Devil's Deal versus a Devil's Choice that looks exactly the same too. They're getting a little repetitive. So what's the best thing? Go for the weapon or go for Mr. I think Mr. Lionel is probably a really good card to just keep in your deck always. So for the first time we're gonna decide to play it the way we want to play it. Let's see. So I think that was a good decision. Let's start the game. Of course,
the lands of the Queen of Skulls are unhealthy for the living.
It could very well be that I just somehow changed the balance of the games so drastically and I didn't even realize it, that I'm going to lose for certain. So that deck, obviously...
You have reached the depths of the game that you have attained. They were too weak or too inflexible, too passionate or lacking in the necessary will. You are different.
So, I think the encounter deck obviously doesn't have, like, one of every kind of card. We see far too many 2 of Dusts, 2 of Skeletons, 2 of Scales things, and we don't see... I've never seen anything above a 6, so it seems like it's either specifically giving me easier groups of people, or it's not, there just isn't a tin or a card of, there isn't a tin of dust yet. I also want to point out that that is a very generalized compliment he just gave you. By saying everybody else was too much of everything else, he's saying that you are exactly neutral, which is a great way to compliment somebody you know nothing about. Apparently we start with some berserk armor. We will definitely take that over the medium armor. I think that's part of our setup now. With the wand is at the start of your adventure you gain an equipment card. Yep, that's what the scepter does. So we have the axe, berserk armor, which means I can already sell the medium armor, a shield, and the ring. Well, pretty nicely equipped. And I assume if I wanted to go replay like the very first level, I would keep all that bonuses, and it would be easier. Immediately, Mr. Lionel. So we'll just ask him what he needs. He says, considering something, and I know what you need. We get to draw one equipment card. Fleet cuffs.
Faster is always better.
Okay. So Mr. Lionel gives me a speed boost immediately. Now, getting equipment doesn't activate the curse. Only purchasing equipment does.
Of course, so few trade in the land of death that deals are easy to strike.
So we can look at the shop, but it is almost certain that we're not going to buy any equipment. We'll probably buy food. I think we're going to see a lot of shops. Can already sell a piece of equipment too, so. So 20 for that, 18 for that, 5 for fool's gold, and 3 for a shield. Yeah, it would be silly to buy any of that stuff though.
I'm sure you're grateful for that.
So food it is, and hopefully I didn't misread it and get 3 curse cards for buying 3 pieces of food. Ooh, the giant eagle.
When I dreamed long ago, my dreams were of flight.
This is the creature we unlocked from the Devil's Carnival.
A challenge for you, and a token if you succeed.
As you're walking one day, a large shadow passes over you. Looking up, you see a giant eagle swooping down towards you. Hide, flee, wait to see what the bird does. Well, this is the character I think I released before. I'll just wait to see what the bird does. The bird picks you up and carries you to faraway lands. After flying for a while, you see a monastery high in the mountains. From your vantage point, in the eagle's strong grip, you can just make out a rough, overgrown trail leading up to it. The card's token is now yours. A wind whips furiously past you as the eagle continues to climb higher. Struggle to get free? Wait until it gets tired. Not a huge success. Eventually, after many hours, the eagle drops you into a small lake. So I got that, and we get the maiden. One day in the Shepherd Forest, you encounter an elf mountain. She stops to greet you. What would I ask for the most? Ask for a blessing. I think that's what I'd prefer than supplies, because I'm good on supplies, and I really don't need gold. And the longer life thing doesn't really help that much. Straw blessing. Treasure picker. When the player chooses from multiple equipment or game cards, the choices available are increased by 1. Nice. Remember, mortal, the bold heroes make for great ballads, but survivors think twice before meddling in the affairs of gods and monsters. So, there's a treasure chest that the Ring of Hindsight is showing me.
It's better than trudging along a muddy road. Certainly.
So, we'll take the extra steps.
A permanent discount for those willing to endure the local color.
I want equipment that is found versus equipment that is purchased. So I will go to the treasure chest, even though it's a very gambly thing. We have to approach and we have a 50% chance of it being a trap.
A choice. Select your desire.
You move forward carefully, but suddenly hear it click. So it was a trap. Gas trap, it's attempt to escape the gas. I fail again. 1 paying card, lose 10 max health. That's awful. So you can kind of see why this is a really, really bad card to have in your deck. Attempt to pry it open. Now if I fail at this, then I would not even get an item. 4 gains cards, so plus 15 gold, 10 gold, 25 gold.
More gold for you, and with it, more problems.
3 gold. So I have like 50 now that will turn into something.
I am not surprised they have
helpful.
difficulty selling their wares here.
I suspect what's gonna turn out to be the case is I might find a noble traveler and have a bunch of gold and move that storyline forward.
A horse is a fine companion. I'm sure you'll leave this one in time. You do not seem to have the temperament for friends, even in the animal kingdom.
Forward we go to the next group.
I did not create this game, you know. I have merely perfected it. You have begun to understand my innovations.
So that leaves room for like a prequel to this game, although I don't really understand why you would want to play a simpler version of this game. If anything, the first version of Hand of Fate without any of the DLC should be the simplest version ever. And when Hand of Fate 2, 3, 4, 5 comes out, if they can make that many, I imagine each one of those should be ever more complicated. Although this type of game probably doesn't need sequels as much as it just needs expansions. The Holy Forge.
A brotherhood of peace in the service of war. Never trust a priest.
Interesting.
We play for a token now.
On a dusty, lonely plain, you come across the shattered remains of an old monastery. Searching the building, you meet an old man dressed in dirty robes. Long ago, we of the Brotherhood forged holy weapons to support the war against the infidels, but the infidels were strong, and one day, one of their raiding parties took us by surprise. They destroyed most of our tools and took our supplies, including all of the rare metal and ore that we used to craft our weapons. The king's army never returned after that day. I know not what became of them in the years that followed. I have stayed here all of these years, but only the ghosts remain to keep me company. All of the others who survived the attack left long ago. Leave. So, unless there was something Obviously there was something else I needed to do. Like I needed to either have metal ore or a holy weapon or something. You bid the monk farewell and leave him standing in the silent empty ruin. Yeah, I don't get that one. That's kind of a shame. Let's go forward. A desert storm.
Nature is the greatest threat, even with the queen now dispatched. Be swift.
So what's gonna happen?
Again, a token is at stake.
You're traveling through a desert where a dust storm approaches. You are able to reach safely. You may be able to reach safety on some nearby hills before the storm hits you. Run for the hills or stay where you are. This game heavily seems to give you the best option first, so I'm gonna run for the hills. You reach the hills just before the dust storm arrives. The card's token is now yours. Is this a card that if I go this way and then walk back here, I interact with it again? I don't know. The Song of the Minotaur. Finally, though, I have enough gold.
As you plunder the secrets of your memories, you'll gain new cards. Some you'll wish you'd left untouched.
So, this is the 4th time we've done the Song of the Minotaur. And all I need is a success here. Ooh, huge failure. Pay the barb all my gold. Well, I've got to move this story along, so I'm just going to give them all 56 gold. The barb bestows on you all the knowledge that is gained about the White Minotaur. The card's token is now yours.
One more piece of the puzzle for you.
That was a very high price to get that card off the board. So there's a shop down there, so we probably don't need to do that. And then there is a dark ritual. Let's see, and the dark ritual would just be a fight. With people, but it might get me something too. Let's do the dark ritual. I'm being silly, I know, but we'll see.
The more powerful the sight, the more vile its trespassers.
Oh, this one's a new card too, so I needed to do it. I thought it was the one where they carried the guy off and threw him through the portal, but I guess I got rid of that card.
Let us stake a token on their foolishness.
While searching the sacred tombs of Wandamir, you come across a group of skeletons conducting a dark ritual. The dealer draws 3 monster cards. So, Wandamir?
The undead do tend to rise again.
Ooh. This is gonna be quite a fight. Let's do it. Jack of Skulls plus 4. You approach the undead fiends carefully and then charge into the midst. There's a whole world they're slowly building up here. I don't think they're going to give enough backstory, really, for it to turn into something, like, super detailed. I have no special abilities or anything, so this is... Seems like they shoot each other. I'm down to 53 health. go. Down to 40 health. For as big of a fight as that was, that seemed a little simple. As the last broken bone clatters to the stone floor, you realize that your intervention has come too late. The sarcophagus is slowly cracking open. You quickly grab what you can from the area and flee the chamber. Draw 2 equipment cards. Angel's Wing.
I'm surprised to see you turning your back on gold.
And Frost
One
Ring.
piece of each type of equipment, and you're ready to take on the world.
Let's see, we'll definitely take
As
Frost
pleases
Ring.
you. This card will unlock more cards, and then still more. You must dig deeply if you wish to discover the heart of this mystery.
So I have no gold. So let's just step here and then step here. And we're getting our health returned slowly with each step and going.
What brings you to play the game? Ha! I know you will not tell me. Like all the rest, you are silent.
What I kind of wish here is if there was an option. See, I could turn off the spider and that's about it. Arachnophobia, people. But there's no, like, banter slider. And the banter is getting a little repetitive now. And it's happening a little too often. The Dark Dweller.
Even I am unsure where this thing springs from.
This is the DLC thing. Your path is blocked by an evil mass of tentacles and eyes. Now, it may very well be the case that the DLC was being left out of the recommendations because it was a high-level card, so at 58 health, I may be in a fight I can't win. Let's see. Even as you watch, the thing sprawls, new limbs reaching eagerly for you. Let's see. Attempt to get around the creature is really the only option. Wow. Got lucky there. With a combination skill, daring, and luck, you weave between the probing tentacles. That's strange, it didn't give me a token or anything for that. So while that is a DLC card, it's just... there's no progression along the storyline. At least as far as I can tell. Charity 2.
Every game must have both winners and losers. Without them, it degenerates into nothingness.
There are a few games out there where everybody's either a winner or everybody's a loser. So not every game has both winners and losers.
I will happily wager on the outcome. I do not think you have what it takes.
So I think unless he wants my food, then 4 food is enough. I don't think I'm gonna pass this one. He begs you for food to feed the orphans. The gods show favor on those who help the less fortunate. Give food to the priest. Yeah, sure. A worthy decision, the priest exclaims. How many young ones will you see another summer due to your generosity? Sadly, only 1, apparently. The priest looks at your humble offering for a moment, then sighs. Every morsel is treasured, of course, but the children will need more sustenance to make it through the winter. Let me see if I have anything in my sack with which toward such generosity.
Choose from these options.
So I think I would have gotten more success cards if I'd given more food. Ah, the priest exclaims and draws out a tarnished old ring. I'll have the kids polish it up first. In the meantime, take my blessing. The dealer draws 1 game card. The card's token is now yours. I'm surprised I got that far.
I made that a little too powerful. I will have to rebalance that next time.
So we get arcane knowledge. It's 30% chance of immediately reducing the cooldown by 80%. So we have made a good bit of progress here. Although we are a little low on life, we're really low on food, and we're not very far into the mission. Let's see. Our 2 blessings are nice, but not as useful as we'd think. We need an upgrade on our shield. We didn't actually get that ring, so maybe we'll get it later. Maybe we won't ever get it. Instead, we just got a gains card, which is fine. But we've been going 30 minutes, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.